All right, everybody, good late afternoon. We've got one more video to get through here of right guards that are free agents that the Seahawks should think about acquiring. You guys know the drill. You guys know the rules. If you guys didn't see the first right guard video I posted a couple hours ago, then go watch that. That's going to contain the bigger names, the more high-profile options. This video, while I am going to outline some viable starting quality right guards that the Seahawks or anybody could sign, um, this video kind of serves to illustrate the point I'm trying to make where if you don't go big, I don't think it's worth really going at all. Again, I want to stress this. Anthony Bradford, not a very good player. You did just win the Super Bowl with him. So if I'm trying to upgrade on that, I want to make sure it's a significant upgrade. And let's look at the guys that we have to choose from in this video. So let's get into some of the choices. All right, everybody, before we go any further into this video, I want to take a minute to tell you guys about the Sleeper app and some new functionality they've recently rolled out, Team Picks. With Team Picks, you can pick winners in all kinds of sporting events. Right now, we have NBA basketball, college basketball, NHL hockey is going on, baseball's going to start in a little more than a month, and of course, you have futures in the NFL, even though the games in the NFL are over. Right now, if you look to my left here, you can actually see you can bet on next year's Super Bowl winner. They've got the Seahawks leading the way in those odds, by the way, at 12%. How does that make you feel as a Seahawks fan? But you can bet on MVP, you can bet on draft picks, you can bet on player destinations, all kinds of fun stuff, even though the season is over. So that is Team Picks over on Sleeper. A lot of fun stuff you can do. All right, so first guy we're going to talk about in this video is Dylan Parham of the Las Vegas Raiders. Little bit of a complicated situation we got to sift through here. Obviously, the Raiders, very bad team, very bad situation, very bad offensive line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Dylan Parham, 4-year player for the Raiders, played most of the games available to him over that 4-year period. He spent most of it at left guard. Let me move my head here real quick so you guys can see. Yeah, mostly he's been a left guard. He's also played some center, but he's also played a decent amount of right guard. And here's the thing that stands out to me. His best Pro Football Focus grade of his career by far was the year he played right guard. So maybe he's playing out of position. Maybe that's why he isn't graded all that well for the other 3 seasons of his career, and he's meant to play on the right side. It's possible. He is a lot lighter than I would usually expect a right guard to be, but sometimes players surprise you with their effectiveness despite not fitting the obvious mold. So Dylan Parham, maybe this is a guy you sign. According to Spotrac, it would cost you $10 million a year. 3 years, $30.2 million. So it's going to cost something fairly significant. $10.1 million per year. That's definitely something I want to be feeling really secure about if I'm going to spend. But there is evidence that he is a very good right guard that has been stuck as a mediocre left guard for most of his career. So that's one of the gambles you could take. And again, I want to be clear, it is a gamble. We are talking about 1 year, 2 years ago, not even the most recent year that you're just hoping is the the truth, and the other 3 years are deceiving you a little bit because of circumstance. You have Kevin Zeitler of the Tennessee Titans, been in this league forever. Very old player, still getting it done though. PFF thought he was good last year. They thought he was good pretty much every year of his career. You go to his career numbers, you can see that he's been all over the place, and pretty much everywhere he's gone, he's been effective. The issue is because there aren't a lot of issues here, right? He's well graded pretty much every season in his career. He has always been a right guard. Basically, every snap he's played in his whole career is as a right guard. He is a pure right guard. He does not get injured very much. He plays almost every game available to him. The problem is age. He's about to turn 36. So you think about that Shanahan scheme. You think about the offense that you know that Brian Fleury's going to want to run. A 36-year-old offensive lineman is probably not going to be able to keep up because it's not like Kevin Zeitler was ever really all that athletic of a player. So this is going to be one of those things where, yes, Zeitler is a better player than Anthony Bradford, pretty easily. But Bradford, while he's not a perfect fit for what we do, he is a better fit for what we do than Zeitler is. And that doesn't even get into the possibility of Zeitler hitting the wall. Eventually, he's going to fall off. Like, he's not going to do this until he's 80. There's going to come a point where he does slip, and it might be this year. And it's going to be expensive to find out. According to Spotrac, you're looking at 1 year, $9.2 million. There's no way I'm giving Kevin Zeitler $9.2 million. Like, it's one thing when you get to the trade deadline and you're desperate. We're not desperate right now. So at the trade deadline, yeah, I would have traded for him. I would have given up a pick. I would have taken on the salary. But now that we're in the offseason and we just won the Super Bowl, I'm not giving $9.2 million to a 36-year-old guard who doesn't even really fit my offense. There are other ways. So this is going to be another one where for me to even really think about it, I need him to be ring chasing and taking a lot less money. And look, he's made money in his career. He's made plenty of money, over $100 million. So maybe he will be ring chasing, but I'm going to need him to take a lot less than this for me to be open to it, because there are issues with trying to get Zeitler into this offense. You got James Daniels of the Miami Dolphins most recently. Didn't really play in 2025. So 2024, he was with the Steelers, and he didn't play that much, but he was graded phenomenally well for the plays that he did play. You look at his career, he's been a workable player for most of that time, somewhere between workable to good. He's played a decent amount of left guard. He's played a little bit of center, but he's mostly been a right guard. And the last 2 years have been kind of nondescript because he's barely played. He's played 212 total snaps across those 2 seasons. So what is James Daniels at this point? He's going to turn 29 about the time the season starts. I do believe he is a right guard, but he's 2 years removed from being a full-time player in this league. And according to PFF, last time he was a full-time player, he was just okay. Again, is he better than Anthony Bradford? I think so, but not by that much. And if he's not that much better, then why bother, right? You have continuity with Bradford. You've had him for a few years. He's been starting in this offense for a while now, and you just won the Super Bowl with him. Why mess with it? Especially when you're going to have to pay close to double the cost of Bradford. Bradford costs $3.8 million. James Daniels, according to Spotrac, is going to be $6.8 million, so almost double. And I don't know if James Daniels is actually going to get this kind of money because he is 2 years removed from significant play time, but he could, right? Interior offensive linemen are a precious commodity in the NFL right now. Very possible he gets something like $7 million, even though he hasn't played meaningful football in 2 years. So I don't know what to expect here. This is kind of a tough one to decipher. He's got some really good results from his time with the Bears earlier in his career, but since then, his career's just been kind of nondescript to me. And I mean, there's a reason why Spotrac thinks he's going to get a 1-year prove-it deal, because that's probably about the best he can do. Final guy we're going to talk about in this video is Shawn Ryan, and this is another kind of example of what I'm talking about here. So Shawn Ryan, according to Pro Football Focus, pretty lackluster player, just kind of okay. They list him as a center, by the way, but he actually has played way more right guard than anything else in his career. He did mostly play center in 2025, and it didn't go very well, I don't think. When he played right guard in 2024, he actually had a passable grade and looked like he was going to become something maybe. And then it felt like his development got arrested a little bit because he had to play center in 2025. So I don't know. I don't want to read too much into small sample sizes, but this seems like a player who is potentially, if you tilt the light just right and you look at it through the reflection of a mirror, you can kind of imagine this guy's a quality starter at the right guard position. This guy could be better than Bradford. This guy could be a top 10 right guard. But it's a projection. It's a guess. There's nothing guaranteed here. This is also a player that's missed some time in his career as well, right? He was a former third-round pick, and you can see he's only played 3 seasons in the NFL, so that means he's missed significant time. He's missed a whole season on top of the time he's missed in these other seasons as well. So Shawn Ryan, There's something here, but are you willing to pay to find out? 3 years, 19.6 million, that's 6.5 million per year. I this is what I'm talking about. It's significantly more than what you're paying right now at the position. How confident are you that you're gonna get something better, especially with the loss of continuity that I talked about earlier? That continuity is valuable. So, that's kinda it to me. Once you get past Shawn Ryan on this list and you start going through other options, it really is a collection of guys that are about as good as what's the difference? So there aren't a lot of great options out there, and even some of the great options I wouldn't call great, right? Like I just went through a bunch of guys in this video, and I can tell you why they might be intriguing, but at the same time, I can also tell you why it's probably not all that great, and it probably wouldn't work that well. So there are a few choices, but you've got to commit. You've got to be willing to spend a multi-year 10 million a year plus contract to bring in Ed Ingram, to bring in Elijah Vera Tucker, and then you've got to hope. Because even on that level, like the Elijah Vera Tuckers of the world, there is still a lot of variance. And on the other side, you have your deeply flawed player currently at the position who makes a lot less money, is already there, has continuity with the offense, and you just won the Super Bowl with them. But those are some viable options if you wanna try to upgrade, and I think those are most of the options to upgrade. I don't think most of the rookies from this year's draft class are gonna be immediate upgrades because it's not a great draft class, so if you wanna upgrade over Bradford now, you gotta pick one of these 8 guys, in my view. Alright, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everybody have a good rest of your day.